What's going down, Yens? How's everybody doing? Casey Keefer here from the HUMANIMAL podcast. I've got AB with me. We are on episode number 4 for the overall episodes of HUMANIMAL, but we are on, I believe, episode number 2, right? 2 of the RUT Report Special 2020 that we're doing. Kind of a harebrained idea that we had where we would jump on the phone with a bunch of people that are out there hunting in the woods and just ask people some questions, see what's going on with the rut.
Bunch of randoms out there.
Yeah, so hopefully we learn some stuff. You never know what you're going to learn during these things, calling some strangers. So we might have some real interesting conversations about to come up. So I think the idea behind this, guys, is we want to try to keep it short and sweet and get to the point. That way everybody can try to get a beat on what's happening in their neck of the woods if you happen to be hunting in one of the states that we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, definitely. So, I do want to talk about our day that we had, which would be yesterday. We're recording, so when this goes live, it'll be yesterday, so it'll be today.
Sure.
So
you just confused the shit out of me, but go ahead.
Yeah. So we had an unbelievable day of hunting. It was raining this morning, but we got close. Got real close.
We did get close. Yeah, it was nasty. It was a nasty morning. The rain, we knew it was coming. It was a shot. It was about a 3 to 4 hour kind of shot of rain. Yep. And then the rain cleared out, and then the wind picked up. And the wind decided that it was coming, and it came, man. The wind came in with full force. So it'll be interesting to see if it's kind of windy everywhere else. But, yeah, man, today was a good day. There's no doubt here in Ohio. It's on.
It's there.
Yep.
It's there.
It's on.
It's if you guys are in Ohio or in the region or whatever, but you need to get in the woods right now if you can and sit all day if you can, because we got warm temps coming, which not saying that's gonna be a bad thing, but like right now is the time to jump.
Yeah, these next couple of days I feel like are going to be the ticket.
Yep.
I think you still got a chance of making a deer do what you need them to with the calls in your hand, whether it's the antlers or you're grunting or snort wheezing or bleating or whatever. But it's not going to be too long until it's just, oh, look, there he goes, whew, as they fly by.
Yep.
So this afternoon we had a real good hunt. Well, I guess this afternoon meaning today, but you're saying this is going to be tomorrow.
So when this episode goes live, it would have been yesterday's hunt.
Gotcha.
So there we go.
So it's got to be your ball.
It's your ball.
It's got to be your ball.
You can take a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up there.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you rather take a butcher's word for it?
It's got to be your ball. Totally makes sense. So yeah, the sit was great. I mean, we saw our first shooter at 1:54 in the afternoon, something like that, on a doe.
Yep.
I mean, right there, right next to her. And then it was nonstop pretty much from there on out. I mean, another shooter came in with a doe, another old mature deer that, I mean, certainly could be shot. He's 130, maybe 135 inch tit 9.
Mature deer.
Mature deer, yeah. And we grunted him right in. I mean, that was a blind little grunt sequence, just a kind of a chasing grunt sequence with a growl. And man, look out, here he came. So it's game on in Ohio. There's no doubt about that. I think, for us, we're starting to see a lot of the lone fawns that are out in the field. Lone fawns are kind of feeding because they don't really know what the hell's going on, which tells me that the ladies are being harassed. Whether they're in heat or not, they're being harassed.
Yep, definitely. I agree. Today, we've got a full slate of 2 guys from Wisconsin and 1 from Iowa.
Yeah, we do. We're going to get those guys on the horn here pretty quick. Before I do that, I want to go through and just thank a couple of our partners that we've got. So if you guys bear with us, we're going to do a blatant sponsor plug. Here we go. So this episode of the HUMANIMAL podcast is proudly being brought to you by Garmin. We use the Garmin A1i Zero bow sight, which is an unbelievable bow sight. If you get a chance to check those out, they're super cool. So Garmin is a proud sponsor, and we're very happy to have those guys on board with everything that we do. Today's episode is also brought to you by Vapor Trail, the new Gen 7X Vapor Trail rest. Badass rest. Make sure you guys check that thing out. Super sweet. And Matthews Archery. Of course, everybody knows Matthews, right? Matthews makes phenomenal bows. So that is today's episode sponsor. So we'd love to thank those guys for taking part in what we do. And let's get into the meat and potatoes, man. Let's see if we can get some people on the phone. Who's on the horn first?
First up, we've got Jeremy Beck from Wisconsin.
Jeremy Beck from Wisconsin. Right on. So let's see if we can get Jeremy on the phone here. All right, Jeremy, you with us?
Yep. Hey, guys. Here, I'm Jeremy Beck from Wisconsin. I actually live in La Crosse. We call it the tri-state area. About 30 minutes, I can be over in Minnesota. Another 30 minutes, I can be in Iowa. So we're pretty blessed.
There you go. Now you're making everybody jealous, man. Come on. Starting out of the gate hot. Here we go.
Yeah. Not to mention you knocked down a good buck, last week or a couple days ago?
Yep. The 28th, I was able to capitalize on one and had a hell of a morning, seeing 8 bucks in 2 hours sitting. And I can't complain. So
God, that's an awesome deal, man. Sounds like you punched a tag there. You're going to head over to the any of the other states that are close by for a hop, skip, and a jump, I guess, from your neck of the woods.
yep. That's what me and a buddy, we always grab a Minnesota tag and we hunt all the public land over there. They're so blessed. They got, I mean, within an hour of my house, there's 20,000 acres of public land. So,
Jeez.
it's beautiful.
AB, let's hang up on him.
Yeah,
We should just hang
I've
up
already
on
told
him.
him that he's very fortunate.
Yeah, I think actually you guys did a podcast together for the fall podcast,
Yep,
didn't you?
yep,
Cool.
did a good one, yeah.
Cool. Well, Jeremy, give us the lowdown, man. What's going on over there? We talked, Aaron and I kind of filled everybody in on the latest that we've got from the field here in Ohio, but where you're at in that Wisconsin region, kind of, down through the driftless, all that stuff. What's going on with the rut? How you guys doing up there?
Well, right about now, I don't call it the rut anymore. It's called the luck.
There you go.
Yep.
It's called right time, right place. It's any man's game now.
Yep. So you guys are well into it. How you guys moving and grooving?
Yeah, I mean, I was just telling Aaron earlier, texting and stuff. I bet you from October 25th on, I've gotten at least 2 texts or a couple Snapchats every day of bucks dropping.
Yeah.
And one thing consistent is everyone's getting off those field edges and forgetting all that sign laid down, all the scrapes on the field edges, and getting on those ridge tops and funnels in the woods.
Yep.
Seems to be what's happening,
That's exactly what we're seeing here in Ohio. I mean, field was empty tonight when we got up to it after the hunt, but down inside that, that edge, 150, 200 yards, boy, she was just on fire.
Yep.
You just got to find where they're moving daylight. That's been the biggest thing. I mean, I got a couple cell cams out at the farms right now, and it's like, I'd say the last 3 days, all of a sudden bucks that I haven't seen daylight in 2 months, they're popping up.
Yep. What about calling? Have you guys been calling out there? You've been trying any rattling or any, grunt action, any bleats, anything like that? I mean, have you had or know of anybody that's got anything responding to the calls right now, or are you guys far enough into this season of the rut anyway that, that's all kind of useless at this point?
No, I don't think anything's useless. I mean, I stick to the point of this is the luck right now, and I think anything's game. The hardest thing is what you have to hunt. I mean, if you got the kind of property that's very little woods and a lot of fields, I stick away from that stuff, But I mean, if you're in the woods and you can get something moving daylight, anything's game,
Yeah. No, that's a point well taken. Well said and well taken. I think most people out there, it is a tough game in the rut when you have to, you're kind of pigeonholed into a certain type of property, like you said, something that's mainly ag or mainly field with maybe a fence row on it. But listen, this time of year, man, like you never know, right? I mean, I've killed deer in Iowa on a fence row that has 4 trees, so in the middle of the rut. So it's just one of those.
You and I talked about it, on the first podcast, and those bucks are taking those does in those weird areas.
Yep.
Like the forgotten areas. There might be one lone oak tree out in the middle of a wide open ag field, and you see a doe pop up, and it's like, oh, he pops up right behind her. And it's like he's trying to get her out of the way of every other deer, so there's no chaos, and he wants them to himself.
Yeah, and I think that's where AB and I are in Ohio in particular. Like every doe's getting checked, every doe's getting nudged, every doe's getting pushed. Not every doe's in heat right now, thank God. But which keeps the bucks on the prowl. But everything is getting pushed around. So, do you think up there in Wisconsin, have you guys hit? Are you getting close to lockdown? Is it or is it still well before lockdown?
No, I still think you're before lockdown. I think you're about a week away. One thing I think that I see in the last 2 years, just from hunting out of state and running trail cameras in multiple states, is I feel like the last 2 weeks of October for Wisconsin is your prime time for deer seeking.
Yep.
Yep. And then over in Minnesota, I always feel the first 2 weeks of November.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, there's so much that goes into it. There's, you hear every theory under the sun between the moon and the wind and the weather and the this and the that, and it's a little bit different everywhere. That's, I think, one of the reasons we wanted to do this year on the HUMANIMAL podcast is just because, I mean, everything changes real time, right? I mean, it's different all across the country. It's daily, sometimes morning and night. It'll change throughout the day, just the movement. I mean, tonight we had that 25 mile an hour, 30 mile an hour wind all night. Most guys are like, yeah, deer probably aren't moving. Well, if you're hunting fields, they're not moving. But if you're hunting inside pinches and funnels and saddles, then they're moving. So
Yeah, and that's what we like to do. We like, if the wind's blowing like it was tonight, we went down. We went down in the valleys, and it was hopping. I mean, we had deer activity all day.
Yeah.
And saw 3 really good bucks.
First shooter we saw was at 154 this afternoon.
Yep. And your dad killed yesterday at 220.
Yeah,
in Kentucky. Killed like a big 160.
Yeah, 160-inch 10 at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, it's rocking and rolling. So you feel like you're a little ways out from lockdown right now. Obviously deer aren't using the fields as they normally would. We're seeing a ton of lone fawns, which is always a good sign.
Are you seeing that at all, Jeremy? Like a lot of lone fawns, and because they know mama's out there getting run around?
Yep, that pretty much happened about a week ago. You're pretty much seeing all the does by themselves now, so that's a positive.
There you go.
And the other thing I was going to bring up too is I looked at weather when Aaron texted me this, and I mean, I'm seeing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, you're in the mid 60s.
Yep. I know.
So there's
know.
now I would just tell people though, don't rule that out.
Sure.
Some people loved we just had Halloween, full moon. A lot of people say like, oh, full moon, they're gonna be moving at night. And it's like, well shit, I just got a text yesterday, a hammer 8-pointer got killed, 159-inch 8-pointer.
Yep. And
then today I had another buddy just text me an hour ago a picture of a dead buck he just shot at 5 p.m. So it's
one thing's for sure, if you're not out there, you're not going to kill him, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how we play the game. If you're not out there, you're not going to kill them. So we got warm weather coming down here to Ohio as well. And, our game plan will be the same. We're going to get in tight, stick to bedding, and, the deer will probably they'll hold fairly tight, and they'll move during the cooler areas or cooler hours of the day, but we'll get in there and find where they are. We know where they go, so we'll get in that area.
Yep. Jeremy, what's going to be your plan here coming up in the next week? Basically, 5 to 7 days. Like, what is going to be your tactics going forward?
Well, I'm looking for you got to find they do not move.
Correct.
So you just need to do your job and find where they're moving.
Yep.
So you need to get off the field edges. You need to get in the woods. And right now, what I love is ridge tops. If I can find any ridge top in the woods that has opened up fresh scrapes on it, that's where I'm planting my ass for that day.
Yeah. That's a great tactic, great technique. We're kind of the same down here. I mean, we're off the field, off the food for a while. And until those once it warms up, you never know. You catch a doe coming into a food plot late in the evening, kind of last light type of deal.
Yep.
But for the most part, we're buried in the timber.
I was going to say, do you guys find too, sitting ridge tops right now? I feel like, so the day I shot my buck, I shot him on one bench below the top of the ridge, and I seen 8 bucks cruise that in 2 hours because it's an easy way for them to quarter the wind and check any bedding area on whatever side of the ridge they're bedding, the
secondary ridges that we talk
about.
That's we're on a secondary ridge right now. We went and found this. Been wanting to get a stand in this area for a long time, and we haven't. And we went down in there and found not only the secondary ridge or the bench, but we found the little saddle, which is even better. I mean, we found a little saddle that kind of connects 2 sides, and it's just, it's a natural funnel. They can follow and ride that bench. We're on the west end of the bedding area. We got 5 days of west winds coming. I mean, it's gonna.
We're on the east end.
Yeah, sorry, we're
east end.
East end. We got
east
5
end.
days of west winds.
And you could definitely tell today. I mean, all those bucks were on the east side of that bedding, cruising that hard edge.
Yep.
And it's where the saddle comes through, and there's 2 hard edges that meet right there, and every buck was picking up a doe coming right through that bedding. So it's only a matter of time, honestly, for us.
So give us a sum up of Wisconsin, because we do we're trying to keep it short and sweet for everybody, give them an idea where the deer are. So give us a quick summary of where you think it is in Wisconsin right now, and then we are going to pop off and we're going to jump over to Jed in Iowa, I believe, right? AB?
Yep.
So give us a summary, Jeremy. What do you think?
Well, I think your best time is this week. Full moon's passed, and you're coming into prime running time for the big bucks, checking doe bedding, refreshing up scrapes. You're going to start seeing more and more daylight movement. Regardless of this temperature, it's happening.
Yep.
I would just stick to, do not be afraid to hunt mornings now.
100%.
If any time to hunt a morning, it is this coming week when it's the coolest time of the day, and bucks are going to be up moving in daylight.
And ride the hole.
Yep.
Ride the hole.
I'd further point, don't be afraid to sit all day.
Yep.
If you can bear it, sit all day. A lot of midday activity as well.
100%.
Aaron, you nailed it. I shot my buck at 1 p.m.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
most people are out eating their sandwich and calling the wife, and I was sitting my ass in the stand freezing.
That a boy.
Cool. Well, I think that's going to be a wrap for Wisconsin. Hopefully, if you're up in that area, you learned something. You know a little bit about what's going on with the deer there. So, Jeremy, much appreciated, man. Thanks for the time. Good luck in the rest of your journeys here. Whatever one of the 3 states that you're like half an hour away from.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys, and good luck in Ohio. And Aaron, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate it, man.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Thanks, dude. All right. Well, appreciate Jeremy joining us. That was good to learn a little bit about Wisconsin. And I think we got Jed from Iowa on deck. Is that right, AB?
Yep, Jed Miller.
Cool. Let's see if we got him. Jed, you with us, man?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Right on. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Just got out of the woods with my brother.
Oh, there you go. Just got out of the woods. You get out of the woods with a deer in hand, or just get out of the woods?
Unfortunately, no, we didn't.
There you go. Same with Aaron and I. So we'll save all that talk for another day.
Yep.
Hopefully, when we're both more successful. But I got to tell you, man, what we're seeing down in here in Ohio certainly is promising. Our deer are on the move. We've kind of gone through and talked about that a bunch already. But let's get a beat on what's going on in Iowa. So first, if you don't mind, kind of give us location. You don't have to give us exactly, but just give us a region in Iowa. Where are you at over there?
Yeah, so I live right in the central part of the state. Have one farm here that I hunt with just my brother, and then I also have a little string of farms down in south central Iowa that I am down. I'm down there quite a bit as well too. So
okay, cool. So where are you hunting in particular right now? Are you hunting the south stuff, or are you kind of up centrally?
This weekend we were up here in the central part. I actually filled my tag last weekend down south, and now I'm just sitting and staying with my brother behind the camera. So
there you go.
Cool, man. Congrats.
Been there, done that. That's always a fun adventure.
Yeah,
that's a story I know all too well. Cool, man. So what are you guys seeing out there? What's happening with the rut? Where do you think the deer are? Are they chasing? Are they seeking? Are they full on breeding and lockdown? Like, what do you think's going on out there?
As far as I've seen, we are probably right on the verge of what you could probably call the seeking phase. The last 8 days, calling has been working wonders. I actually rattled and grunted my buck in last Saturday. That was the 24th.
Sure.
Was it a blind rattle?
Yep, blind rattle. Got him out of the. I was actually on the edge of a hayfield. Blind rattle. He came out of the timber. And then I grunted and snort wheezed him all the way to 25 yards.
Wow.
Tell me you had a camera rolling for that.
Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started, because no, I didn't.
So listen, when that happens, you pin that on your brother and you pin it on him now.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's your brother's fault.
You used every tool in the bag, man.
At least that's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Chris isn't even here, but it's his fault. Cody, I'll blame it on either of them.
Just blame it on Cody.
I don't give a shit. Cody, it's Cody's fault.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. So you punched your tag too, man. We got all kinds of people we're talking to that punch tags already, but that's good because you're still out and about. So you feel like you guys are right on the verge. They're seeking right now. Are they checking does? Are they bumping does? Like, what, have you guys seen any action like that going on?
They're checking does. Today we hunted this morning and then got out for about 2 hours. We had to go run some errands quick, and then we got right back in the woods, and we saw more bucks today actually than we did does. All in that 2.5 to 3.5 year old range. Nothing. We actually had one deer tonight. I first thought he was a shooter. My brother decided to pass him, but a lot of 2.5 and 3.5 year olds. This one buck tonight in particular, he came in, saw another 2.5 year old buck, and he made 3 scrapes within 20 yards of our tree, trying to fight this other buck. So they are the young bucks are definitely feeling it. I think in the next 5 to 7 days, it's going to start getting even crazier, I think.
Yeah.
So
that's a good thing, man. Do you think it's one of those deals where you guys are probably seeing, and I don't know, you tell me, I'm going to make some assumptions here. You guys are probably seeing a lot of 2.5, 3.5 year old deer. Is it something where you think the 4.5s and up, they may already have an early doe in and they kind of took her out to no man's land somewhere where most people would never think there'd be a deer, and that's why you're not seeing them? Or I guess, what are your thoughts there?
I haven't gotten that figured out yet. I'm going to lean towards no, because our trail cameras have still been showing quite a bit of nighttime activity, especially on our bigger deer.
Yep.
Some of those, there's a couple deer. We have one deer. We named him Bob. He's probably a 3.5 or 4.5. We can't really tell. Passed him this morning and then checked a camera actually, and he was on. It was like every other picture was of him, daylight and nighttime. But a lot of the other bigger mature bucks are definitely leaning more towards nocturnal still. So
There you go. So they're still under the cover of darkness.
just a little bit.
Are you hunting more field edges right now, or are you down in the timber? You said you killed your buck on a hay field. Like, are you guys getting more in the timber, or is, like, where's more the activity centrally located at?
Well, down south on the southern Iowa farms, we are more on field edges. The timber or the properties we hunt down there, they're by permission only. There's not a lot of huge hard timber. It's a lot of ag ground and stuff next to creek draws and whatnot. So we're typically on field edges down there. But up here, the farm we hunt up here, it's really hard to hunt the field edge. It's just so unpredictable. It's a mile stretch of timber. It's just so unpredictable where the deer are going to come. So we like to get in on the fringes a little bit, get right inside the timber where you can still pretty much see the field, but you're not going in too deep. And it's worked out for us so well. It purrs pretty well so far.
That's good. Yeah, I know where we hunt there. We hunt southwestern Iowa quite a bit. And I love, the woollier the better, the nastier the better. Creek ditches. I mean, I love that kind of stuff down there. Kind of what, a lot of that southwestern southern Iowa stuff is known for. So, what we've got going on in Ohio, we're trying to get off the fields. We are off the fields right now. I mean, they're just not using them the way that they have been. Seeing a lot of lone fawns out there feeding, but that's pretty much it on the field stuff for us anyway.
Right.
So you say Colin's working pretty good, rattling's working, snort, wheezing, grunting, all that stuff. So from what I'm gathering, you guys are probably, I mean, I don't know, AB, it sounds like about a week behind Wisconsin. About a week.
I would
behind,
definitely say that.
Oh, really?
Or a couple of days behind at least what we are here in Ohio. I mean, what you're sounding like, sounds a lot like what we experienced a couple of days ago. Anyway, over here in Ohio. So
yeah, Casey, he tonight we had a buck. I mean, he did a blind grunt. It's just a grunt sequence. You did a chase grunt, a roar, right? And we had, I'd say he's 4 or 5 year old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
4.5 for sure. About 130, 135 inch. Tit 9 came strolling in, looking for a battle. So I mean, it's definitely hot and heavy. But for us, every doe right now has got a buck on her. I mean, that's just the way it is. They might not be in, but they're pretty close. I mean, every single doe's got a buck, at least one with her. So it's rocking and rolling there pretty good. Yeah.
Interesting.
So what's it look like for you guys coming up? What are you gonna hone in on for the next few days and hopefully try to get your brother to punch a tag?
Well, the next few days I'm going to be stuck at work, unfortunately, but
blame that on your brother too.
Yeah, I should. I think next week we're going to both try and get Thursday, Friday off, and we're going to head back down to southern Iowa. My brother I forgot to mention, we just got these southern Iowa farms this summer, so my brother has not even stepped foot on them. I've been the one down there doing the hunting and trail cameras and whatnot, so we're going to try to get a couple days of hunting in down there. We got a place to stay down there and whatnot with some friends, and hopefully we can come up with something down there. Pretty much, we got 2 farms down there that I actually haven't even stepped foot on these farms yet. They're the bigger pieces, the pieces that they just look the best from an aerial. And I've tried to stay out of them, waiting for this time of year to come. So hopefully next week we can get in there and try and make something happen for him.
That's cool, man. That sounds like it's going to be fun. You got the right time to do it. I mean, one of the reasons we wanted to cut this podcast is just because everything is a little bit different with the rut everywhere you go, and it changes daily. So
I got one last question for you. If you knew anybody coming to Iowa, or even any Iowans that are going to be hunting around,
you going to Iowa, AB?
Iowa.
This is where AB invites himself to
ask
come
him for a friend. No, I punched my Iowa tag last year, so I won't be there for a couple years. But if you had one piece of advice to kind of tell people that would be coming there, hunting around maybe the general region that you're at, what would you tell them? Like, what kind of tactic, going into it? If you had to tell them one thing, like this is what you need to be doing, or hone in on.
Yeah, so what I would say is a lot of people get a little intimidated by the fact that Iowa is, I believe, the 48th state with the least amount of public land. And I think that deters some people. But I'm telling you that that is nothing to worry about. And don't worry about trying to get into the biggest, gnarliest, nastiest pieces. A lot of the deer out here you can find right out in farm country. I mean, just stuff with hardly even any trees.
Sure.
I can think of last year I was actually pheasant hunting a section that had literally 0 timber in it. and I jumped a probably 160, 170 inch buck. So don't get too set on getting into the big stuff, and think outside the box. Hunt some places that not a lot of other people are going to be. So
Yeah, man. And we've always said you could have 1 acre as long as it's the right 1 acre.
Yep.
That's all that matters.
Yep.
And it's probably true in Iowa more than anywhere else, especially
Right.
when you start talking about old, big, mature deer size wise, right?
exactly.
Cool, Jed. Well, listen, man, we certainly appreciate the time. Wish you guys the best of luck as you continue to try to get your brother a deer on the ground. I'm glad you filled your tag already. Hit us up on Instagram, show us the deer. I'd love to take a peek at it. And good luck out there. Maybe we'll check back in. We're doing this every single day. This is kind of a real informal. We just want to get on the phone with people that are boots on the ground that know what's happening in their neck of the woods so that we can share some information with people. And, hopefully somebody picks something up from this conversation they put to use that helps them fill their tag. So we appreciate it. And maybe we'll check back in a few days with you.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
All right, man. Wish your brother luck for us. And next time we jump on, tell him jump on too. Maybe we'll get you guys both on a horn.
Oh, I tried. I will, though.
Cool, man. All right. Well, you take it easy.
Yep. Take care.
All right. Thanks later. So there you have it, guys. That's what's going on right now. I'd like to thank Jeremy and Jed for joining us. And, today we covered Ohio. We covered, sounds like, mainly Wisconsin, some of Iowa stuff with Jed, maybe even into Minnesota. It depends on where Jeremy's hunting, I guess, on any given day. But we covered a lot. That's the status of the rut, the latest, the update, the rut report, the whatever you want to call it. That's what's going on in the woods right now in those areas. So we're going to keep these podcasts coming at you every single day here for the next couple of days, just because stuff changes rapidly this time of year, I think. Do we have a plan yet for who's on the docket tomorrow, AB?
Yes, we do. I want to keep that as a secret, though.
Oh, we're keeping it as a secret.
Yes. We have a couple more guys on tomorrow, and then a couple more guys for the next day. They're already slated, ready to go. Not a huge secret, but I just, just a little tease. Just a little tease.
A little tease,
So,
sure.
just a little tease.
You're not even going to tell me.
No, I won't tell you.
Oh, okay. Well, there you have it. I guess I'll have to wait until we call them to see who it's going to be. So, Hey, listen, the guys today were great. Everything went solid.
Yeah.
Nobody cussed me out. That's a win, right? That's a win. So,
do one thing. I do want to say, everybody that likes the HUMANIMAL podcast, go to iTunes, leave a 5-star rating. It'd be really helpful. Leave a review. Tell a friend about it if you like it. But if you don't like it, I guess just don't say anything.
I'll tell your friend that too. I mean, if you don't like it, tell your friend
it's
that
a shitty
too.
Podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, we're just getting the HUMANIMAL podcast fired up, guys. This is something we wanted to do for a long time. It's just we do a lot of production stuff aside from our own, and a lot of times that takes precedent. But we're trying to get this thing up and rolling so that we can bring you guys a lot of behind-the-scenes stories of what goes on with all our crazy crew in the field. And we love to have fun. We love to shoot the shit. We love to tell stories, and that's what this thing's all about. So aside from that, I guess we'll have to see who's going to be on tomorrow's podcast tomorrow.
Yep.
Considering AB won't tell any of us what's going on.
Nope.
So
I will not. And don't forget, my dad will always beat up your dad. So.
that's the greatest sign-off line ever. My dad can beat up your dad.
All right.
Okay, that's a wrap for this episode. We will talk to you guys. Everybody, good luck out there. Stay safe. Wear your hunter safety harness. Don't be a dummy.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Say it's some new day song.